Welcome back to this live session, traders. For a really interesting trading day. How the things going well? The broadcast is okay. So welcome. Good day. Can you hear me, guys and girls? Let me know in the live chat if you can hear me. Welcome back to this another session. This is live session from Forex Trading Wizard Academy to trade the market. We will be looking at XAUUSD, and also I will keep one more currency pairs on the watch list. We see that there is some trend on British pound US dollar, and we see a little slower on euro dollar than on GBP USD. Both of them have trend, and British pound US dollar approaching also a key support level. This is the daily support level. You might be able to find a short-term entry on GBP USD beside XAUUSD that you will be looking at. Okay, all right. So let's look at here what you can find this in this market. What kind of trading opportunity you can find here in this area. All right, so let's look at here on gold, that what kind of market structure we can find in this market. We'll be looking at starting with gold on the higher time frame, and then we'll be looking at the lower time frame here to see. Loud and clear. Thank you very much for confirming. Good day. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Kerry, Lufati, Ronnie. Welcome back to this live session here. Now the market is in a very interesting area, that we see that in this strongly bullish market there is a bearish momentum, and we might be able to find a potential entry opportunity here in this market. We are looking at this market structure to see where the price is heading. Starting with this one here to see overall picture in this market. Starting with the first of all monthly chart to see how the price action is evolving here. Now looking at the monthly market structure, we will be looking at the very lower time frame trading opportunity bus. But if we see that the market structure from the bigger picture, that means the higher time frame, we will be looking at better trading opportunity here. So looking at the monthly price action here, this is the monthly candlestick pattern. The market open on the monthly support level here, and with that opening on the monthly, the price action has evolved, and in that area expecting it to potentially bounce off that level. Looking at the weekly perspective, here is the weekly market structure, where there is, if you look at, this is the weekly support where there was a double bottom that you can see, and with this double bottom formation on the weekly perspective here in this market, expecting this market to after this drop. Now there was a, if you look at here, the weekly market structure is really interesting here. If you look at, this is the weekly market structure where there was a double bottom. Okay, so if you look at, this is a double bottom, all right, and with that double bottom, now you need, this is also, I talk a lot about the market structure. Double bottom, double top market structure is key, because when you look at that, there is a structure formation, there is a like such as the head and shoulder, double top, double bottom. When they form, the first thing that you need to look at the trend, right? There are 4 secrets in the market, all right? In 2026, there is one more. right? We know that there are three secrets in the market structure, liquidity, and price action. Add it another additional confluence. That's gonna change your trading. This is what we are trading every single day. Add the timing. Time dependency is where you will find the best trading setup. Okay, so because the volume comes and goes, the experience is what matters. If you look at when the market having that higher volume, especially in a period where there is a flow of energy. So if you look at, market is driven by mostly by psychology, right? So also develop a little bit of imagination that what happened during the London Open or what happened during the NY Open. All the traders sit in front of the chart, look at the chart, especially the day trader and scalper, they start to place order based on the market structure. So during that opening period is where there is a high volume. That's a fourth dimension, right? Timing. That cannot be, you can't express it with the candlestick pattern, right? Can you express it with the candle? You might find a session, you might find an indicator that can give you the session. We have we also have the best trading tool that we are using every single day, but something also you need to add it from your experience. You don't have to reinvent the light bulb, okay? Always you can learn the experience from those who are experienced, okay? The only thing that you need attention, keep eye. So if you look at here, you can see this is a double bottom. And with the double bottom, what happened? The market. Now, why am I considering the double bottom? You see, there is a double top also here, right? But we are not looking at double top as a selling pressure. We are looking at this double bottom as a buying pressure. That's the trend, okay? So the trend is the first priority that we need to look at. Looking at the daily chart here, that you can see on the daily perspective in this market here. So this is the daily price action, okay? If you look at from here, from this support level, this is the move on the daily, followed by, we can say that there is a pullback here in that market. And with this pullback, this is where the market is approaching the order block. All right, so that's where we are looking at. And with this order block, the market is approaching the order block, which is the key support level, expecting the market to retest, reject again. Here, the price in on the daily, you wouldn't say that this is now, this is a daily bullish fair value gap here, okay? This is a massive fair value gap. Now, this fair value gap could be rejected. The market can get a rejection of this fair value gap, but still we see there is a downtrend here. So now looking at the 4-hour perspective here, you can see this market that you can see from the intraday here is, I wouldn't consider it as a very strongly falling market, okay? Because if you look at from this support level, there is a massive breakout. This market may have a rejection at any point in time in this market. So that being said, if we look at this market here, you can see this is a downtrend and there is a multiple liquidity sweep here. And with this liquidity sweep, okay, so you can see this is a pretty stronger liquidity sweep here. And there is also a liquidity sweep here, quite a few liquidity sweep. The market got quite a few stronger rejection of that level, that can bring that market back below here in that area, which is a key support level. There is a higher liquidity zone in that area. Expecting this market potentially to break below here. Now, at the moment in this area, we can see this market is having a downtrend. So looking at the lower time frame, now I'm looking at this lower time frame. Here is the key. This is a lower time frame trend line, right? And breaking the trend line, if you look at breaking the trend line, is where there would be, okay, breaking the trend line below can give a higher possibility for this market to bounce off this daily resistance line. Now you are looking at the daily resistance, that the market to bounce off as soon as the market shows that pattern here in that area. Welcome. And what's your thought on this? You can share your thought and opinion here. And we would like to see that break of support. You see that once the market breaks the support, we will be using the pending order for a break above in that area. Okay, so this is what we are looking at this price action. Wanting to see the market to break below and then to bounce off that level. Welcome back to the live session. I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Coming up, important news, which is that employment change. If you look at unemployment claims, but this is on CAD tomorrow. So unemployment claims, and it's nearly to less than 2 hours time. So I would like to see what's your view on that, because if you look at the DXY, so looking at the DXY is the daily price action is trying to push back above. So far here is bullish. If DXY is bullish, that you can see with the upcoming news, if spike back to the upside, we might see gold to break below further here, and that is where we would see this market to break from this structure. And once it managed to break from the structure here, okay, we are looking at this market structure coming back here to this support level. Welcome. And I'm posting a poll here, guys, to see that what do you think. Okay, I'm posting a poll. What's your thought on XAUUSD today with the upcoming news for unemployment claim? So let's cast a vote on the poll. Welcome. So in the up, have got anyone in different opinion? Do you think it's gonna be up or down, the spike coming up in the upcoming session? So here in this area, we can see the lower time frame price action on this place. The market is on a sideways, so it's maintaining this series of higher low here. With because it's maintaining this series of higher low, there is a possibility for the market to potentially reverse back again to the upside here in that market, right? So you want to see that first of all breaking below, because it is in a downtrend. So how the structure could form is the market to break below and then to bounce off that level. So breaking this trend line, because there is another important point that you can note down here is that 4-hour chart. If you look at the 4-hour high, then that means that the session's high has not been tested yet. So there is still a room here for the market to go ahead and hit this current level at 4433 level, right? Which is a smaller move, but if we can catch that move with reasonable time frame, we can expect the market to give us that entry opportunity here in that market. While also I'm looking at some move on GBP USD. GBP USD is in a downtrend, but we might see a rejection of this support level here on British Pound US dollar. We want to see the break of support before we look for any entry back to the upside here. The volume is okay, I think. It's too loud. So if we zone out the two key support level, the previous session's low, we can see that these two key level are important. Now looking at the 1 minute here, okay, and we turn on the trading chain here, there was a selling pressure in that area. We'll be using also the trade engines alert here to see how the market is showing up. By the way, I have already, we had few access yesterday with this. This is my best strategy now available on a trading view in a indicator, as well as you can directly set up the alert on trading view directly to trade from trading view from here. Okay, so it's gonna send, you can turn on the push up notification, so we'll be using that one. Now for especially, we would like to see the market trend has changed here. Okay, that's where we will be looking at. And if you are using this tool, by the way, then make sure you at least keep 3-to-1 reward to risk. Okay, so 3-to-1 reward to risk is very important to use this tool here. Okay, that's where you will be able to see that the market to show up. By the way, here we can see the market breaking that trend line. This is what we are looking at in the past, so for the market to break off that trend line. Okay, so once you see the market is breaking off that trend line, that's where we will be looking at the entry for another bounce back to the upside. Here is 1 hour candle closing. If you look at this, is the 1 hour price action, and before the candle close, if the market breaks below with the candle close, expecting a reaction back above here, and if the market got that rejection back above, right, so it still can continue to drop a lot. It's a falling market at the moment. We are only looking at, because it's a falling market, to sell. So after the break of this trend line, the market is trying to push that back above here. So for us to look for an entry, short term at least, I'm looking at a bias here. So let's see that how far. All right, so I'm going to look at a long position here, stop loss below this support level, taking the target, first target here to the previous session's high here. So it's gonna be a buy entry with a stop loss below this low, and I will be explaining also later the strategy, and we'll look for multiple entries in this session as soon as we find suitable entry opportunity. Stop loss that I'm placing at 4419.71 and TP target setting at 4433.24. It's a smaller risk trade. That's the key, keeping the risk low and expecting that with the 1 hour candle close, the market to have an initial bounce back to the upside. So I'm long on gold, and probably guys here, you know, with this in 10 minutes time there's a candle close coming, so expecting that there is an initial breakout for this zone to fill. So if you look at the 4 hour price action here, the market opened and the price didn't break that. If you look at the high, so this is the session's high here. Therefore, there is a potential for, after this trend line, the market to show an initial reaction back to the upside, and that reaction that we are trading, it is still in a downtrend here. We have taken the reversal trade with the tightest stop loss to see that if the market is reacting to that level, which is the key here to look at in this market. Hope that you guys are enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting. Here is, if you look at this, there is an imbalance the market has left in this direction. If you look at, okay, this is an imbalance, and that imbalance, so you could see the price to go ahead and fill that zone. All right, buy market. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the entry that I placed it for 4.63. My entry at this level, and put another one. All right, so here the market is in a very narrow range, and you see there is a candle close coming from the 1 hour, which is pretty sharp drop back below, and before the candle close, that looking at a potential pullback to the upside. So this is a kind of pullback trading of this level here to have a potential breakout structure to the upside. All right, so as soon as you see the market has done a decent pullback, will be it's trying to push back again here from this level. Okay, so if you look at 35 to 40 pip up, will be a good area that we can look for a potential entry in this market, waiting for the market to bounce off that level to go ahead and create a new higher high in this market. Creating that upside bias. Yes, I'm on a trade. I'm on a trade as soon as we call for. Also, I have shared the entry in the premium group. So there is a 1 hour candle close coming here. Now this candle close, with this close here, expecting potential pullback, though this is in a downtrend. And you want to see the reaction or move back to the upside. Here is, if we look at the 1 hour price action, for our perspective, if it breaks below, we might be going out of the trade. Still on the trade, might get out. So we got out with the trade. It's a break below. We are minus 47 pip on that. We'll be looking at the next entry. There has been significant bearish pressure in that area, so we'll be looking to see how far might be coming down here. We might see the break below further here. See, there is a stronger bearish pressure, but would like to see how far it's coming, and it's approaching the daily fair value gap. Okay, which is a, if you look at, this is a bullish fair value gap, and in that bullish fair value gap, the market is coming to that zone where there is a high area of value. So it may continue a little strongly. That you can see there is a stronger downward pressure. Let's wait to see how far it's coming. Here is the liquidity sweep and then rejection. So we might see that daily fair value gap is being approached. Can we get around 4400? 4400, even the way it's falling, there is a complete fair value gap, so it might cross 4400 and lower. Okay, so that is where there is a significant imbalance here. If you look at, this is a big daily green candle, it's a full imbalance. So you don't know how much it's gonna drop. Most likely you see that it's filling that fair value gap here. All right, so, and with that filling of that fair value gap, you see that how far it goes. Right, so depending on that, we'll be looking at the market set an imbalance here. So that's where maintaining downtrend. Looking for further entry. Can you get around? So there is a multiple rejection that has driven the price back below. So we might be able to find an entry for this fair value gap. This is this zone from here till this level. Okay, that's an imbalance. So the market potentially to come to that zone where so this is the 5 minutes price action, 1 minute also. Now there is if you look at, it will come unemployment claims in my zone. It's 1.5 hours later. So, and the volume might be very high on this NY session opening due to this if you look at, okay, so during that opening for the NY session, there could be significant volume coming, and this is what we are looking at the moment. All right, so we'll see that where it is heading to. Welcome. So a couple of doji here, and market is breaking out of this level here. So it's getting here. If you look at, there is a hello, welcome. Here, if you look at, quite a few smaller doji is being formed. And that smaller doji, if you look at, that could bring that market back down here in this level of support here. If you look at, that's a key support level. So in the first 15 minutes candle that you can see here, do you think it will come to 4400? Even it can go lower if the market, the way it is showing, the possibility for even go lower. So this is a current level of resistance that you can see the market is approaching. And with this current level of resistance, here we are looking at the market to show up and then to revert again back below. Okay, so looking at that level here. So it's entirely, it's an entirely bearish price action that you can see. And so where are you looking gold ahead today? Bearish or bullish? Why it's going down? Okay, so a very fundamental and important question, why it is going down. All right, so the firstly, guys, there is NFP coming. Okay, now there are a couple of reasons that gold movement not only based on the technical, also based on fundamental. Okay, so let's understand that what fundamental factors now currently moving the gold and what was the before. So firstly, if you look at this is the weekly market. Okay, I'm deleting the lines again to find the fresh perspective. Now if you look at this market structure on the weekly, there was a gap open over the weekend. Okay, let me tell you potential thought, my opinion here. It could be different, but this is what I see from long experience, and there might be the similar kind of situation might happen. Firstly, with this gap open that you have seen over the weekend, okay, that gap open was fundamental. Okay, right. The geopolitical and other factors has contributed gold to have a bounce back to the upside with the gap open, and then it made its initial move back to the upside. Now what we can see that move on gold is potentially coming for a retest of this support. Okay, and there is a very high chance that gold will have another bounce back again to the upside from this support level, which is technical. Now this bounce that you could see on gold may entirely engulf this red candle back to the upside in the second move if it drops down here. And from the daily that you can see, there was a drop here and bounce back. So this move that you can see on the daily is a potentially a retest of this order block before it eventually break out. All right, so now that being said, this is support level, but the market is approaching in that area, and this is 1 hour. If you look at this, is a long week here, an imbalance in the market. Okay, so the price approach that imbalance, it is a very high chance the market will feel that imbalance before it bounce back to the upside. So it turned into now significantly bear market. The current recent high is here. Now I'm looking at 2 lower time frame resistance for a potential entry in this market. So it's turned into a bear market. So breaking above 4419 can be a selling opportunity here for the market to drop back to this support level. Might take about 4500. Anyone in that opinion, market will go 4500. I think if it reject that 4498, if it reject it might go cross that high, and that might be with NFP. Okay, because if you look at NFP is coming shortly tomorrow, and it is less likely that today the market will go that far for me, because it's still showing the downtrend, and less likely the market will be like that in this short period of time. So looking at here for 4404 is a fresh daily demand zone. 4404 is a fresh, here the previous daily high. If we look at the best demand zone in this drop, that's gonna be at 4472. All right, because if you look at this, you see this is a red doji. All right, so this is an order block. If the market continue to drop, chances that it's gonna come farther below, and that's where the daily 20 EMA and okay, so there is sudden volume coming. Any breaking news? So this is here we can see this is suddenly bullish bias. What's that mean? Might go back for another retest. Let's see. We might find a potential entry on the trade entry engine. So you see that this is where there is a possibility for an upside, and we might see the market to go back to 4433, guys. So there's a possibility for a bounce back to 4433, and okay, trade entry engine shows an entry on the 1 minute. Okay, so we'll be taking this trade as per the entry engine signal, and the stop loss at 4432. $4417 here, little down, and TP target will be setting up to this level here. All right, so I'm going long as per the entry engine trade alert. So you might see, you know, that the market to still bounce to drop for a deeper liquidity sweep, but we will be placing the stop loss at 4416.90 and TP target at 4432.90. We'll be adjusting accordingly if needed. So this is based on the signal that we found on the tool on trade entry engine. So we'll be looking to see that initial move to bounce off that level. See that yes, this is losing our steam. Hello, closed. We want to see a stronger bullish price action, and at the same time, if we don't see strong bullish price action, also you're ready to close with running profit. Still we see that there is a bullish confluence going on. This is what we want to see for a potential breakout bounce to the 4-hour resistance line. This is what we're expecting, and if it does, we will be running. If it doesn't, we will be exiting at entry or with the running profit. There has been significant rejection from this lower price. This is what I'm looking to see the market to have an initial bounce in this market. So this is based on the trade entry engine alert based on the 1 minute chart. I'm updating the group. So understanding flow is very important. If you look at this is NY open flow, okay? So NY open coming in few minutes. So when you use the trade entry engine, especially version 2, I think you already have access to that, many of you. Make sure that you use the session flow, which is this is always I talk about, use the additional edge in your trading, okay? This is where we are very different from anyone else, is that we don't only use the strategy, we use the fourth component of the edge of the session, okay? That's where you create a strategy that stand out from anyone, because you are using the fourth dimension, the timing, the time dependency. What is time dependency? Look at your website dashboard, where I have also explained everything in detail, how to trade based on the time dependency. Okay, time dependency is very important, because at what time of the session you are taking the trade. Okay, so you can see that this alert here generated, it was a massive drop from that. Okay, now this one has moved little depending on if you want to break even or no. Didn't move much further, but this one has gone a lot because of the time dependency, because of the sessions dependency here. All right, so now at the moment we are up on this to 40 pips, so it's nearly to the same as the previous one that we have opened. We want to see that little up so that we can take the previous sessions the previous trade plus additional potential gain on that. And the 15 minutes price action. All right, so want to see that it's pushing that back to the upside to this the previous 4-hour high. Market has now got rejection. This market, if it bounce off that level, it's gonna be pretty strong move. some rejection, which is good to see that market is having the rejection back above. We want to see that crossing 4428. Getting that mix up. Awesome. Cool. Now, are you guys with me with this trade? Say yes if you are with me with this trade. It's the trade entry engine. So I have posted this on the group. Seller is from the trade entry engine. So this is the trade that we have opened just now. It's a practical example of how the trade entry engine generate trade alert based on our strategy. It is 2026, guys, coming up 2027. As I told you, that you don't have to memorize every rules of the strategy. It just one click, turn it on, but follow the instruction that is given, right? This is how trading is. You need to first learn the rules and use the advanced tool to help you. All right, so we are now up with this trade, 48 pip nearly. Let's see, we'll be running or taking. Let me see that how far it has moved. Still, there is a possibility for upside here, but at the same time, we don't want to also lose the gain because we had the previous trade had a sell. So still possibility for going up. So I'm still holding on so that we can have the overall profit gain for this session here with us. Okay, risk management is key, very important if you are using. All right, so going up here, which is showing that potentially upside bias. And as soon as I will be closing, also I'll give a shout out that I have closed. All right, so you guys know that what I'm doing with that trade. Still going on. All right, so we are up 64 pip. All right, so 65. Okay, going up to 70 pip. So I'm exiting the trade right now. Done. All right, so we gained that. I'm out with 70 pip, 71 pip, 70 pip. Okay, I would consider 70 pip, few pip this way and this way. So we had previous trade gone out of 40 pip. The previous one was 47 pip. This one is plus 70 pip. So we are positive on that. Another positive day. Right. So now she still might keep pushing back to the upside. So I would like to see a feedback here, guys. Have we got that TP 4431? Now I'm out because of the influence coming with the news, and we'll be re-entering as soon as you can enter anytime here. Okay. Yes, thank you, join late, but in thank you very much. No problem at all. Yeah, it is still moving in that direction. Now, this is a great example of the trade entry engine. So this is a tool that when you use combining with the sessions opening, all right, this is why this tool is so effective. If you can use it during the session opening, okay, is because there is a flow, there is a change in character, there is a momentum. If you look at here, you can see that there was a downtrending momentum. Okay, this is the point where the flow changes from a downtrend. Thanks coach, had 71 pip profit. Absolutely, it's still pushing. If I'm out with 71 pip, and we'll be looking later to see what we can do next. Now, I've shared the trade with the screenshot. This is the screenshot that in front of you guys have seen that I've shared in the premium group. And also this tool accessible to every premium member of the academy. So if you are a premium member, if you haven't got access to the tool, then you can ask the admin to give you access to the tool. Okay. And now what we are looking at in that area, see the market, because it's in a downtrend, the price potentially to go back here to cross that area. We'll see that. Okay. How to get the engine? Okay, so to get the engine, head onto the website. If you are our member, then you need just to you can directly access from your student dashboard. So if you want to be our member, you can find link below this video. Head on to the below this video, all the information is there to get access to the engine. And if you're already a member, you don't need anything else. You can just share your TradingView username, and you can directly get access from the invite only section of your indicator. So once you get access, you can just use invite only section to get access to it. It's an invite only tool. That means you have to be invited to access to that tool. I could give it for free for everyone, but there is a lesson behind it. There is a risk management lesson that you need to go through. So that's why you have to be a member, and it's an invite only like that. So you can, there are a couple of options to join. So there are a couple of options. If you guys want to explore all the options, you can head on to this, the option that you can see on the all the information you can find below this video. Right, so let me you can use this link to explore more about on how to get access to all of this. All right, so let's look at here. Okay, so here is the market is still maintaining the same kind of price action that you can see. The price is approaching that intraday level for our resistance line, and from there, if you look at, there is a rejection, and we may see the market to potentially what I think, because there is a bounce back to the resistance, there's a possibility for another wave of drop back below. Okay. The screen was black. Okay, I hope that is clear now. Thank you. So the market structure here is still showing to be upside. If you look at, there is a coming up unemployment claims, and we will be looking at the data, and we might be able to find further entry opportunities, so don't miss out. Here we are looking at this is unemployment claims, which is coming in nearly to 30 minutes time. Thank you. And There is a sideways movement. So NOI session flow is coming, and the question here is this can continue, or you could see breakdown here again. We'll see that what's happening in the upcoming. This is the 1 hour candle close that you can see, and with this 1 hour candle close, there is a significant rejection from this lower price, and so looking at the 4 hour here, there you can see this is the 4 hour price action, where there is a if you look at from here, this market eventually could bounce to this 4 hour resistance and then can come back again to that level. Okay, so patience is key. As the data coming in 15 minutes, there might be a significant change in the sentiment with this data coming up. So now opening up NOI session, followed by, we'll see that further more later. Welcome traders, welcome back to this live session. I hope that you are enjoying. Make sure you like this stream. Have you liked? And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. We'll be waiting for the data to come up. I will take a short break for 2 minutes. Stay tuned. I'm here. Just a coffee. Bring a coffee and be back. So back on track. What's going? Yes, there is a breakup structure, right? So coming on 15-20 minutes the data. So what you can see after this break to the upside, the price is having reaction back again. So that reaction that you can see, might come back well below here for the further downside. Now this is the current level, the current low, current session's low. Okay. So which is the market didn't test this 4-hour high. So where the market opened during this session, it didn't retest that low. Because it didn't retest that low, there is a still possibility for the market to go ahead in that level, and that might come after multiple rejection from this level. Little stronger music. Okay, what is this one? So basically the market has dropped back below to this, where there was a the starting of this candlestick. So there is a trend line here on the 15 minutes that you can see that might bring the market back below here. So it's breaking below here. That might bring that market here back below this level. Okay, so there is an imbalance here in this market in that direction. So here, if we look at the market after coming to this level, it's consolidating. If we want to re-enter again for another entry, what I said, this is a possibility now for the market to break this swing low here, because this green move that you can see from here, it's a one single breakout. Okay, so with that one single breakout, there is a drop here that has multiple liquidity sweeps. This bearish candle here, this is a bearish engulfer with a crossover of doji completely, and engulfed that red candle entirely back below, while we can see there is another big red candle that is giving the possibility the market to drop down here to this support level. Right, so let's wait for this market to show up here. This is a pretty strong bearish move, expecting the market to come back here to fill that zone. The way this is price action has formed, the possibility for the market to break below is higher. And with that break below, expecting the market to trend back down here to this, creating a new lower low in this market. It's funny, so to change that. So removing this one. This one looks good, isn't it? Have a little bit of sound. Do you think a little bit of chill out? It's coming. What happened with the data? This 3:13 is coming for the data we'll be looking at. Before that, let's have a little bit of cheering up. 3 trades today earlier, so I haven't updated the journal yet. Just looking at that one here. Okay, so here is the journal, looking at two trades. One was losing trade. For a long time I had one, and it took me minus 47 p. This one, I like that trade was 70 p. So we are up total here 411 minus 82, not minus, so this is total 411 plus 82 minus. Okay, now with the upcoming if you look at the data, this might now push that market back above here, so the data might create a bullish bias. I think that might take that market to retest this 4-hour resistance. And after retesting this 4-hour resistance, the market may eventually retest again. And that's where we can look at for further move in this market. Patience is key. I love listening to music while analyzing or trading. It gives a better energy. Absolutely. I always listen to the music, you know. Can you better for? Because trading sometimes not little. In fact, it's boring job, isn't it? And that's why now it's much more simpler with us. So if you look at the trade that you have opened, guys, this tool really helped, because you see that this trade now, this tool is still, that trade is still valid. Having a tool it's like having a friend with you while trading, because without, when I started my trading, there was no much development in this industry, you know. Like in the beginning, people mostly rely on the manual setup, okay, moving averages or RSI, Bollinger Bands, no additional, you know, that fuel or the tool that you can enhance your ability. Now in 2026, right, it's now time to save time, right? So now I don't have to, you see, there is another alert has generated on the 1 minute, but I would be not taking this trade. This is still could go up. I will not be taking that trade is because news coming. So this is what I was telling. We need to filter out some of the trades so that we are not falling into the noise of news or anything like that, because tool doesn't know that there is a news. This is where the manual supervision is important. So if you look at this this trade, okay, especially when we align the sessions volume with the tool, when you are trading on the lower time frame, that's where the thing. So it creates a lot of it takes a lot of load off the shoulder, right? Because otherwise now for example, when we are listening to music, doing something, we're just looking at, and we're not looking at any indicator or anything like that. As soon as I see that there is an alert, now I can do the analysis. Now I can think of either I will be taking this trade or no. It doesn't have to be that you will be responding to all trade it's generating, because all trade may not be as effective as. That's where coming to your manual supervision. This is called the system power trade that gives you an edge while you use your experience, knowledge, either to take the trade or not. That's why learning is important. Without learning, you cannot fully rely on the tool, right? That's where we make the big difference in trading, that developing a tool that can enhance your ability. Don't trade blindly. This trade that it generated also, it's gonna push that market back up, but I'm not taking, as I mentioned, it's because of the news coming in few minutes. So, and this is a tool that I can rely on for anything, not only XAUUSD, I can rely on for anything. Okay, so if we look at here, dollar yen, you can rely on as long as it's trending. It's a trend trading tool. So when the market sentiment changes, trend reverse, new fresh trend open, that's where that's what this tool is mostly effective to use. Okay, so and that's what you need to do, right? Trading with the trend. Trading with the trend is the key. So this is a trend trading tool. Always use the trend in your favor to trade, because you see that all the strategies that I use, every strategy that I use, 70% I give weight to the moving in the direction of the trend. Okay, that's where things happen. That's why you need to look at a market that trades, the tools that trades with the trend. So one strategy, one tool that is effective is enough. Okay, I don't trade multiple. You see that we have only one engine, one scalping robot. This engine is for swing trading, day trading, but we have separate scalping. And then use that engine along with the sessions volume. Okay, not all. Okay, wait for the flow start when there is a session volume. How easier than that can be trading. Okay, the rest is watch the live session, master your emotion. You want to be a master as a trader, go through every lesson on your student dashboard, because everything is based on observation and experience and long historical data available for you to learn. Get access to that. All of them on your student dashboard is updated for 2026 and beyond. To change as a trader, to change your trading, okay, enhance your ability to trade with the most updated system. So that being said, let's look at now, coming up in 5 minutes, the data. I have posted a poll. Make sure you cast a vote so that you know that what's your, I think that most of them casted vote for spike to the upside. Have a no. What do you think? Okay, so we have 2 minutes to go for the data to come up, and I'm waiting for that to happen to see that what kind of market data coming. I think it will bounce down for a retest, but nothing is 100% sure. That's why it's called market. Absolutely, you are to the point. Okay, you're to the, I think so. There is an initial move. So the way the market structure is formed, this is the market, the price action, it might bounce off that level, and at the same time, it's true that the market can do anything. It can go in any direction. So let the market to do the job itself, but keep in mind, guys, the key here is that when you look at this is a reversal pattern here, okay, and the spike even can take the market go back to the daily resistance, which is possible. This is the daily resistance, couple of areas, so it can happen. The move can happen to move back to them. So what's happening with the news here? So rate cut coming again. That's my Fed's looking for about 1.5 points cut in 2026. Underlying inflation is running at 2.3%. Could add about 1 million jobs without causing inflation. Okay, so that's a bullish for gold. Okay, so you can see some the data has come out. Okay, what's happening with the data? 208 unemployment comes drop, so which is positive for DXY. I think upside DXY. Yeah, bullish price action so far, spike, but with the mixed information. So this is bullish for gold, yellow folder, while DXY might so what gold is doing here now with that data? There is a spike that you can see, and the data come out to be so less unemployment claim means that bullish for DXY. Okay, so very simple. If you guys don't understand those information, also we have a course on advanced fundamental. You can also check out on the website dashboard how to interpret this fundamental. It's simple. You don't have to learn macroeconomics. You only need to learn very foundational. Okay, a simple rule that can help you to understand the overall move. Okay, you see the data positive for that could push that market up, DXY. Very simple. So that's bearish for gold, and you can see that move. That's how it works. Now it might have a mixed reaction, but this is the news impact that we are talking about. Okay, how to interpret those information that is happening in the market. So now let's look at here in this area. Okay, the way the market structure is forming, if this, for example, 1 hour candle closing as a doji, that's a bearish price action, guys. Okay, because it's still quite a while, 30 minutes to go for this candle to close. Depending on how it is closing, it's important. So here it is potentially a bullish price action that you can see. Okay, so slowly forming a possible reversal pattern, and if that successfully form that reversal, you can do that, but we will be looking at breaking that low here, that you can see the market is, this is the 1 hour price action, forming a pretty long week doji, and with this multiple rejection, the market is maintaining this series of higher low here. $440 tonight. The way the market is evolving, let's refresh our look, and also the trade that you have opened also will be more discussing later on that one as well. So if you look at here, this is you can see the way the market structure is forming here. It doesn't look fully quietly bearish. Now you can see there is a more pullback, another move. So it's a potentially change of character. Okay, so if you look at here, and there was a break below from that, and then the market is maintaining this series of higher high and higher low uptrend. And with this uptrend, what we can see that this market structure now is building its momentum back to the upside. So if you look at, you can see this is where there is a higher area of value, right? So, and that's where looking for the market to break that high. So if this market started its uptrend, all right, so the possibility that we might see that 4465 and even breaking that higher above here in that market. So therefore, potential for the market to retest, continue. So we see there is a possibility for an uptrend. We see there is a liquidity gap, and again the market is going back to the upside. But you know, we discussed in the beginning that because there was a significant downward move, to get it fully in an uptrend, it requires multiple liquidity sweep here. So as progressing with the session, now we have a higher volume, stronger volume due to the both sessions running together. And if you look at the 1 hour pricing, this is a 1 hour market structure. This, after the previous session's doji, 4 hour has just moved back up. There is a potential for an uptrending move back above here in this market. There's a potential for an uptrend here. So we will be waiting for a multiple liquidity sweep here in that area, in this support level, for us to be able to see the market is going back again to the upside. So if you look at this 5 minutes candle, that you can see it's a bullish engulfer. Cross this entire bullish engulfer to the upside and downside on both directions, and could lead that market to bounce back to the upside here in this area. So the market finally broken out of this resistance line. Okay, So if you look at in both direction, it has broken out of this resistance line. Now because it has broken out of the resistance line, the possibility here for the price to eventually cross that high to create a new higher high is higher. So the first trade that was generated by the engine is still there. We could see the market to eventually bounce off that level again. Okay, so we see there are some kind of sideways movement, and that's where you want to look for. Now the market is here respecting this support level. What I think what we could see the market might do now is the price to break this low, okay, and then to bounce off this level, okay, with DXY aggressively bullish. Is there a chance to break the 4407 low? Let's see that the DXY, if you look at, there has been significant breakout on DXY that you can see because of the, as we mentioned, the data, okay, and tomorrow coming up NFP, there is a significant impact on this instrument. Now DXY bullish, but there is one important thing that we need to look at, is that see where the DXY is going. Sometime above the resistance, breaking in this way can be a sign of reversal as well. Now looking at the weekly, if you look at this is the market reached to a zone where there is a potential for rejection. I wouldn't say it's still rejecting, but there's a possibility, okay, because it's approaching this swing, approaching this important support down resistance here on DXY. So because it's approaching that key level, support down resistance, okay, that might bring that market to back below. But I see still that, I think everyone see the same thing, that there is a possibility that it's a lower time frame bullish trend that we can see here. So in this move on the DXY, there was a massive there was an engine trade here that we have seen. The market has moved that. Now what we could see that, because it's, if you look at it, has overextended back above, right, cross that high, and there is an order block here. So we are looking at the 4 hour. It might go up further and then could potentially come back on that one. So in gold, if you look at the 4 hour, you can see gold. And this market, with the strengthening on DXY, gold may try to retest further. Yeah, so you saw the break of this support of this level. Now I will be a little patient here. This is where we see market. There might be in a sideways little more time here, because as per the DXY, gold is bearish unless it's moving in the same direction. But we see there is a rejection also in that area on DXY that might bring that market eventually to move further. The best way to trade at the moment is to be patient, because there is an FP and there might be a significant move coming later today and tomorrow. You know that I trade very carefully, so that's the results reflecting on the trade that you open. Okay, the key here is to trade based on strategies. These are real statistics, real trades sent in the premium group, and every trade that I open, I also mention the strategy. For those who are learning the strategy, make sure you keep eye. This is the last one that we have opened in this live session, created by the trade engine, and this is based on the trade engine. So it's not trade engine, and trade engine strategy. And that being said, it's not ended, it's just beginning, right? 2026 we will be trading with using the best tool and with proper risk management, and also with patience. Now it's more than ever easier to trade. Let's trade based on strategies, risk management, and based on plan. I'll see you there again, guys. It's almost nearing to the end of this session, but not end of trading. I will be trading till the end of the NY session. We'll be posting all the updates as well as analysis. Keep trading, keep learning, keep growing. Patience is key. Focus on learning, not on a single trade. A single trade can be winner, can be loser, but learning will never be a loser. So keep eye at double top on 5 minutes on XAUUSD. That's where you see some kind of move. I will be waiting, I will be patient here a little bit to see that what the market is doing at the moment. That being said, thanks for joining here, guys, and I'll see you again very soon, trading live together. Tomorrow NFP will be trading NFP, so don't miss out to trade the NFP, and stay tuned for that. We'll be opening multiple positions with the NFP, and explore more if you want to be part of this academy, where you can find the diverse courses, indicators, and strategies. Link just below this video. Head on to the description of this video, where you can find all the information. That being said, make sure you avoid FOMO trade, over trade, and also avoid all kinds of psychological mistakes as much as you can.